Hey guys, so we may be in a bit of actually like a lull today energetically. There's not too much going on in terms of transits in the sky, but that's probably a good thing because we are preparing and setting up for the next 6 days to really be some big, powerful activations that are going on that are likely to be breaking things down for us and showing us perhaps where we have been deceived in some type of a way. There's some energy coming through this week that is really trying to bring some conscious awareness and to help clear some things up for us that have been perhaps keeping us in a state of disorientation or not being able to make a choice, sort of held back from a transformative process that we need to go through as a result of either not understanding the information clearly, something having been hidden from us, or just a general confusion or disorientation in regards to what our next best choice is. This is the type of stuff that is sort of getting cleared up for us this week, and it may be coming through some type of message or information or communication that we are receiving from someone. But there's a lot of energy going on this week generally in relation to distortions and also clarity, but relationships are definitely going to be on the table this week as well. Let's get into the report, you guys. Let's talk about what we do have playing out today, and more importantly, what we have building and coming into fruition this week, because this week is really sort of like our turning point week in our Virgo cycle and in our month of September. So let's get into the chart and see what this is all about, you guys. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. And we're going to do things a little bit differently today. Like I said, there is actually, for once, not a whole bunch of astrology that we have to talk about today, but I did do a pretty in-depth tarot spread for this week just to sort of check out the vibes that we have going on this week, because like I said, this is a big week of energy coming up. So we're sort of going to fill in the holes of our astrology today with some more in-depth tarot that I'm going to be talking about as well, that is sort of describing, I feel like, the energy that we have coming at us this week. So we are energetically prepping you guys for what is going to be playing out the rest of this week. Actually, the way that I have it written in my notes, it looks like the 14th through the 19th are these days where we have some big aspects going on over the course of this next several days. Yesterday also, sorry I didn't have a video for yesterday. I did an extra one with our Mercury retrograde and our full moon over the weekend, and I had some things going on over the weekend too, and I just couldn't get another one done for yesterday, and it was actually good timing because we didn't really have too much going on Monday either. We have had a trine between the Sun and Uranus that was playing out Sunday and into Monday, but even by Tuesday today, it's sort of starting to fade away, and the Sun and trine to Uranus, this is just some energy that is, you know, probably making it a little bit more difficult to like stay on task, stay on schedule, stay on plan. But there also could be some things that are just randomly falling into our experience that are facilitating solutions to things in different types of ways. The Sun and a trine to Uranus is universe facilitating solutions through perhaps some more like unexpected or surprising just things that are happening, experiences that were happening, and the way things are falling into place. So that it may be a little bit characteristic of what we were facing Sunday, Monday, moving into Tuesday. But like I said, you know, let's talk about what we do have standing in terms of our astrology for Tuesday, and it's really like not that much, although it is setting us up for what is to come later this week. We have the moon moving into the sign of Taurus today, very early degrees of Taurus. The moon's actually not going to be making any specific aspects until it forms a trine with Venus at 11 degrees of Virgo, but that's like later in the day. So we really do have sort of like a void of course moon going on all day. Like I said, kind of more of like maybe like an energy vacuum a little bit, not too much. We may sort of just feel like we're like a little bit in a void, and there's just not like these bombardments of these energy activations that have been hitting us, you know, after the full moon and everything we had going on last week. We are in sort of a break today, so there may be just like a little bit, things may feel a little bit more calm and just being less pulled in various directions, especially on like these internal levels today. So that may be sort of something that we are experiencing in the energy today. And also with the moon though, moving into the sign of Taurus, this is going to be setting up tomorrow, right? When this energy really starts to hit, this is going to be setting up the moon in conjunction with Uranus and the North Node, which is going to be triggering and activating some perhaps like big upsets or changes or realignments with the North Node there that are along this more fated, destined, like meant to be trajectories. Again, universe like facilitating things with the moon coming into the conjunction with Uranus tomorrow. And we'll talk more about that. But with the moon moving into Taurus, this is sort of activating and setting off the Uranus North Node in the sign of Taurus, vibrations that we have going on. So, you know, things building into the energy today could seem like they are a little bit more destined or fated as well. And, you know, just like I was saying about the sun in the trine to Uranus, this is like a lot of the same energy. There could be things that are just like randomly happening that seem to be creating solutions to problems or facilitating things or awakening as well, some type of like fated or destined awakening. This is also a major aspect of what is coming through this week in terms of the energy and also in terms of the tarot message that we are receiving symbolically to describe what is happening over the course of this week, what we will get into. But really, other than that, you know, today, not much happening. We're sort of being given a galactic universal break to prepare us for what's going to be coming up over these next couple days. And this is just likely to be intense, what we have coming at us, just because of the nature of the various transits and how they may like be interacting with each other on this more internalized level. But, you know, it's probably a good way to start the week because we are headed for some conflicts and distortions that are going to be leading to some big transformations throughout the course of this week. This is the week where we are likely to discover the truth, it seems like. If you guys watched my September overview, if you guys watched my new moon in Virgo analysis, I was talking about how this cycle, this month is all about trying to, first of all, like rebalance things in some type of a way, like restore justice in some type of way, like bring things to some type of a resolution in some type of way. Like that is very much what this Virgo cycle has been indicating and has been striving for. But it's like, it's like to begin the process, there needed to be some type of conflict, but ultimately it's heading towards some type of bridge resolution or justice being restored somehow throughout the course of this cycle. And I feel like this week may be doing that for us in one way or another. And I was also talking about how there was some type of profound awakening or some type of clarity that was likely to come over the course of this month or over the course of this cycle that was really playing into whatever this resolution or whatever this restoration of justice or whatever this reharmonization or rebalancing of things was. It is coming through the catalyst of some type of an awakening. And that is likely what we are going to be having triggered for us in our experience in one way or another throughout the course of this week. This week, we are probably going to discover the truth about something, and especially, you guys, in regards to relationships or in terms of what we want generally. This whole cycle, I've also been saying, is trying to show us the truth of what we really want, what's really in our heart, what really lights us up inside, what really fills our cup, what we are really truly passionate about, what we really truly love. Like, in and of ourselves, removed from the structures and the conditioning of society and culture and family and community. Like, what is our personal truth? That is what this cycle is trying to teach us, trying to show us, because we're going to have some important decisions that we need to make going forward when we approach our Libra cycle and the cardinal energy that is coming up next month. And we want to be in a place of clarity in order to make these decisions because they're going to hold some weight in terms of what's going to play out in the long term for our future. Universe doesn't want us to make these decisions from a place of like not being in alignment with our authentic truth. So this cycle and all this retrograde energy that we have going on right now as well is very much about bringing us into an understanding and a greater relationship with our own personal truth and our own self so that we can really rediscover what it is that we value, what it is that we love, what it is that fills us up, what it is that lights us up, what it is that we want to pursue, how we want to relate to others, the type of relationships that we want to have, what we want our material world to look like how valuable is our time and energy, what is the level of our self-worth, what are we no longer willing to accept in relationship dynamics and stuff like this. This is what we are getting real with ourselves about throughout the course of this cycle, and specifically I feel like this week particularly, so that moving forward we are in a position to make some good decisions that are like consciously aligned with what we truly want to experience moving forward. This is the week. Definitely breakdowns in relationships could be coming with this, but also breakdowns in illusions, secrets revealed, deception uncovered, leading to some type of profound transformation and gaining a much greater understanding of things. One thing that is definitely coming through this week is a need to sort of like trust our instincts, trust our intuition, trust our feelings this week. You know, if we're getting a gut instinct about something, if something doesn't feel right, we really sort of want to lean into that a little bit this week, give it a little bit of like extra attention, and, you know, make sure that we are in alignment with what our gut is telling us this week. I feel like this is going to help us. I also feel like spending some time alone to really process what is going on and not like inundating ourselves with the vibrations and the feelings and the thoughts and the attitudes of other people. I feel like this is really going to help us in this process this week as well. And also being open to spiritual guidance, spiritual assistance, spiritual connection. I feel like this is something that is very available to us in this energy right now and is really trying to come through to help us navigate this period of time that we are going through and these changes that we are going through as well. So I feel like those are the essential pieces of advice that we are being given this week: to trust our instincts and to trust our feelings, to follow our gut, to spend some time alone to process and to not feel like we need to be a part of everything that's going on this week, because we're really trying to get real with ourselves. And we can't do that if we're just like immersed in everybody else's vibration. And also being open to spiritual guidance and asking for spiritual guidance and just really cultivating that spiritual connection, I feel like will be beneficial for us this week as well. Now, in terms of this specific transits, you guys, that we do have coming up this week, first of all, we have the sun going to be coming into an opposition with Neptune. This can bring distortions. This can bring, well, on one hand, it can bring a very, very profound spiritual connection. On the other hand, it can bring a complete delusion and like being caught in a fantasy or just extreme escapism tendencies. So we don't want to be escaping from what is uncomfortable this week. This is energy where we are needing to gain a higher spiritual perspective on the things that we need to actually detach ourselves. Like, this is escapism energy coming through, but it's a release from that which is no longer serving us. It's not escaping from the more difficult issues that we may need to face. So if we're feeling more of the escapism tendency with this Neptune vibe coming through this week, it's because we are actually being supported in escaping from things, but they need to be the things that are not good for us, not the scenarios that, you know, we need to navigate themselves. Also this week we have, and this is the big one, this is really like to me the big energy of the week, we have Venus coming into a square with Mars in mutable signs, both in Mercury signs actually. Venus is in Virgo, Mars is in Gemini, while we are in the Virgo cycle ruled by Mercury, currently in a mutual reception to Venus. This is like big time, you guys. Their relationship issues, Venus and Mars, masculine and feminine, internally, externally in a square. This is bringing conflict. This is bringing tension. This is bringing things need to come to a resolution. Again, this resolution energy somehow both in Mercury sign, Mercury currently retrograde in the sign of Libra. This is just, I mean, any way you slice it, you guys, this is going to have us questioning our relationships, questioning what we want in our relationships. And there could be a lot of fights, verbal arguments and disputes going on in relationships big time this week. I mean, we're talking about Venus and Mars coming to a 90-degree angle, coming to a head, coming to a conflict with each other in the signs of Mercury, the mind, thoughts, ideas, communication. This could also be some type of like misunderstandings that are causing these conflicts. But actually, you guys, the way that this is really playing out, and with Mercury ruling these two planets in the sign of Libra, currently retrograde, there may be some deception from the past that surfaces in this energy that causes relationship conflicts, relationship breakdowns, as we are realizing what we bought is maybe not what we thought it was. Like, maybe this relationship isn't actually what we thought it was. That is the type of thing that we may be finding out in this relationship. Maybe some things have really been hidden from us. Maybe we've really been deceived in one way or another, and coming to this realization, coming to this awakening about things, and, you know, gaining the clarity that maybe we need to go in a different direction in terms of the way that we want to do our relationships going forward, because we're coming to all of these conclusions and all of these awakenings, and we're figuring all this out. And we will talk much, much more about this energy, but that's pretty much what I want to say about it today, as we are sort of preparing for what we have coming at us this week. But it is likely to definitely be a week of some conflict in relationship. And with Mercury retrograde, you guys, most likely based on things from the past that we didn't know about, or deception, lies, secrets. Also, you know, this could be like just situations or past people coming back and telling us something that changes things for us. There's a lot of ways this could play out. And we, like I said, we'll talk much more about it, but we have that going on this week. We're also in Black Moon energy we have coming up this week. We are also going to have a cardinal T-square playing out this week between Mercury, Jupiter, and the moon. That is really going to be probably bringing some things to a head and exposing things to us as well. We also have Mercury retrograde coming into an opposition, you guys, exact opposition with Jupiter retrograde this week. This is also secrets exposed. This is this is the past, right? Both of these planets are retrograde. This is us finding something out that we didn't know that really broadens our mind or expands our horizon, or some big news about the past that is coming through that really like opens our eyes to something, gives us a greater perspective, really like makes things clear to us in some type of way, awakens us to something. Like it's all over the charts. It's all over the aspects playing out all week long. And then ultimately to like end this week, I think on the 14th, or I mean on the 19th, we have the sun, coming into an exact trine with Pluto. This is whatever distortions, whatever illusions, whatever fantasies, whatever confusion that we had been operating in, again, that maybe had been holding us back from going through this transformation that universe is calling us towards right now, or had been distracting us from that process perhaps. This is that transformation that is taking place. So whatever we're learning this week, whatever breakdowns are going on, whatever we're coming to understand about our relationships, or are the relationship going on within ourselves, or internal, like whatever that we are realizing or awakening to, whatever it is that we are finding out this week that is shifting our perspective, it is leading to some type of massive transformation. Like this is what is changing us. And after this week, moving into next week, people may be acting and behaving like radically different. But I mean, with the moon in opposition to, or the sun opposing Neptune, Venus and Mars in square, this T-square playing out between the moon, Mercury and Jupiter opposing each other retrograde, and the sun trining Pluto all in 1 week in this progression. It is just this, the veil being lifted on something that is alleviating some type of distortion, that is making things clear to us, that is putting us back in our power and helping us to make a choice or a decision to move forward. This is taking us out of a place of just overwhelm with choices and options and decisions, or not knowing what to do, or being very distracted by, perhaps some type of an illusion or a fantasy or ideal that we were maybe playing out, or I don't know, but this is like ending the illusion, ending the fantasy, getting real about stuff, and that process helping us to move on from the things that we maybe had been holding ourselves back from moving on from, out of any like lack of clarity, if that was the right choice. So that is what things are looking like for us heading into this week. Illusions and confusions are being transformed this week. Anything that has been distracting us from the truth is getting cleared up. Profound truth and awakening, helping us to detach from our lower drives, also our more ego urges. Like we're also through this process kind of ascending into our higher selves, and it could be through news or information coming through. With Venus and Mars in square this week in the signs of Mercury, this is all about like hearing something, some type of communication, some type of conversation, some type of headline, some type of news that is causing some type of conflict going on. This could also be pertaining to finances or economies or financial markets as well. And actually, you guys, in this conflict resolution energy, if there have been sort of long-standing conflicts that have been playing out, especially in regards to maybe like within families or within siblings or within close friend circles and stuff like that, there may actually be like another side of this energy. There may be a resolution to that coming through this week as well. Like through the recognition of this conflict that is going on, there may actually be some awakening or some awareness or some information coming through that is actually helping to resolve this type of conflict. And ultimately, you guys, all of this is heading towards conflict resolution. Universe with this Venus-Mars square is resolving conflicts in relationships right now in a lot of ways through breaking them down and bringing this awareness, bringing the truth. Literally, like any shady business that's been going on, I feel like is about to be exposed. Like it's coming through Mercury retrograde opposite Jupiter retrograde this week, you guys, in the midst of this Sun Neptune and this Sun Pluto and this Venus Mars square in the signs of Gemini. Like while Mercury is opposition to Jupiter, oh gosh, like the truth is coming out, you guys. Like I hope everyone out there has been being honest about things, because if we have not been being honest about things, this is probably not going to be the most fun week. But it's got to be this way because we are in a period of time right now that is trying to bring us into a radical realignment with authentic truth so that we can move forward and activate our destiny and rise into our higher potential. And we can't do that, you guys, if we are lying to ourselves or if we are in situations that are not being truthful with us, because that is also blocking us from being able to activate that authentic potential if we're in situations that are dishonest in any way around. So we have a very profound sort of truth, sort of enlightenment that is coming through this week, and that is really trying to bring the thunder and the lightning and awaken us to anywhere where we have been like just being deceived or being manipulated or having our power stolen as a result of not seeing the truth about something. So all that being said, you guys, that's basically what I have to say about the astrology and what it's indicating for me today. Like I said, there's actually really no specific aspects that are going on. We are just sort of preparing for what is to come over the course of this next few days. Now, let us talk for a minute about the tarot. Like I said, I sort of wanted to fill the gap today in terms of the astrology with a more in-depth tarot reading. So I did that, but I haven't done like a full reading like this on my channel as part of these daily videos before, and I'm not exactly sure. I think what I'm going to do is take a picture of this spread and try to put it on my video so that you guys can look at it while I'm talking about it. I've never done that in my editing thing before, so I'm not sure 100% that I can do it. I'm going to try to do it. If you don't see the picture come up in my video, if you guys go to my Facebook group, I will post a picture of this spread in there so you can reference it there if I can't get it to come up on the video. So if you don't see it on the video, check my Facebook group because I will post a picture of the spread in there. But, okay, so let's talk. The first card, now we got a whole bunch of cards. I did a full out tarot spread for you guys today. So, because I really wanted to look at what this week, where this week was going, like what this week was bringing us towards, because, the astrology is very interesting and significant that we had playing out this week. So I wanted to look at the tarot too and see what the message was saying in terms of that. And it actually like mirrors exactly what we have going on in terms of what the astrology is saying. First of all, so I have all the cards out and I've clarified everything. So we're just going to go over the entire message as it stands. So the first sequence of cards that we had coming out were the Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, being clarified by the Star and Temperance. So we have major arcana to clarify our first two cards coming out, which were the Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Now, these two cards just together are talking about the need to really embrace and hold on to some type of profound clarity or understanding that we are coming to at this point in time throughout the course of this week. And being the Four of Pentacles being clarified by the Star, this is also talking about a need to really hold on to our inspiration, a need to really hold on to our hope, to our trust, to our faith in the universe at this period of time, and to these changes that are taking place in alignment with the shift back into like our authentic truth that is going on right now. The Star also represents the age of Aquarius to me and the Aquarian archetypes and dynamics. So I feel like this is talking about a need this week to really hold on tight to this authentic truth that is emerging within us, and to allow that to be sort of the inspiration or the hope or the optimism that is carrying us through this week. Now, with the Queen of Swords, with Temperance coming out underneath, to me, this is talking about this clarity or insight that we are arriving at this week that has to do with this Star energy, and what we are holding on to is about what? Temperance, rebalancing things, also healing things. Like I was saying, that what this whole cycle is about, like this process is leading to some type of rebalancing, justice restored, like things put back in proper order, reharmonization, reconciliation, and ultimately a healing. So the first sequence of cards that we have coming out to describe the energy this week is about a need to really hold on to and embrace the knowledge that we are receiving right now that is inspiring us and realigning us with our personal authentic truth, because this is the process that is actually going to lead to the rebalancing, to the healing, to the tempering out of the things that may have been out of balance or creating conflict in our lives. So first piece of advice, we really need to hold tight to our truth throughout the course of this week and be open to the truths that are coming to us, because there is something healing or rebalancing that is ultimately going to be coming alongside with them. Now, the next sequence of cards that we had coming out, we had the King of Wands in reverse, followed by the Eight of Cups in reverse, and then we got the Judgment card in reverse, clarifying the King of Wands in reverse, and then we got the Eight of Wands upright, clarifying the Eight of Cups in reverse. And so, to me, this is saying that while, on one hand, we are gaining some tremendous insight that is helping to heal and rebalance things and re-inspire us in regards to our own truth, there is also something that we are navigating this week that may be trying to pull us out of our higher consciousness, that may be trying to pull us out of that energy. And maybe that is why we start with the Four of Pentacles, really holding on tight to this inspiration and this truth that we are gaining. Because with the King of Wands in reverse, this is talking about some energy that may be coming through, or some distorted masculine energy that may be rising within us, some distorted ego energy that may be causing us to have some bad judgment, to take some wrong actions, or to do something that is just not benefiting our awakening and our healing, okay? And that process in and of itself may be preventing us in one way or another from making the choice to walk away from the things that aren't serving us. It may be keeping us in a place of stagnation, basically. If we are allowing our ego distortions, you guys, to control us this week, if we are allowing ego attachments, our ego wounds, operating out of a more selfish energy where we are just very focused on meeting our own needs and desires with a disregard for the consequences of that, if that is sort of our MO this week, we are actually putting ourselves in a place of sabotaging our emotional progress and our emotional healing and, what universe is trying to do for us at this point in time. So that is another aspect of this energy that is coming through, and we need to be careful. We don't want to be making some bad judgments, some bad choices that are keeping us stuck and attached to the things that are actually not good for us at this point in time. Again, as a result of sort of an ego wound that might come up, or just like recklessly wanting to pursue like our ego urges, just following our ego instead of our higher selves. Like that's what this is saying to me. These first four cards, Four of Pentacles clarified by the Star, Queen of Swords clarified by Temperance, that is a need to really get in alignment with our higher consciousness and what we're learning and, our higher truth, and not fall prey to these ego urges that may be coming in and pulling us off course a little bit in this distortion energy that may be coming through this week. Now, the card that we had coming out actually to clarify the Eight of Cups in reverse was the Eight of Wands upright. The Eight of Wands upright, you guys, this is about some type of quick communication a lot of times that is coming through. These are also both eights. Eight is a number of death, rebirth, and transformation. Eight is associated with Scorpio. It's also a very financial number, but it has to do with where we are deeply like enmeshed with others, either in terms of relationships or finances, where we like the boundaries are blurred between us and other people's in a very like possession oriented fashion. And both of these eights, the Scorpio energy, like to me, this is talking about actually though, some type of information coming through, something hitting us, some communication, some conversation, something happening that is actually changing the whole orientation of this situation. Like if we do find ourselves in a position where we are sort of falling back into our ego, or falling back into attachments of the past, or falling back into poor judgment, poor choices and stuff like that, like it looks like there is still some type of communication or information or conversation or something hitting us, coming through very quickly, like even like an epiphany or something hitting us out of nowhere, that is bringing some type of clarity again. So it's like, even if we do fall into this ego trap this week, there is still something coming for us that is going to try to change the situation around. And what we have coming out after that, very interesting, is the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Cups and Death, clarified by the King of Swords, and the Four of Cups. You guys, what this is saying is, following that period perhaps of poor judgment or getting sucked back into our ego, that's something that we may be experiencing that is making us question whether we should truly continue on this pursuit in alignment with our authentic truth. Like, that's really what it is. It's like, we know, like, we're discovering, we're waking up, we're figuring it out, like, we're seeing the truth, like we're gaining the feeling, or we're getting an intuitive understanding of what we need to do. But then it's like, there's still this aspect of our ego, this square between Venus and Mars as well, like our ego over our desires, like, is our, how, that is what universe is trying to show us, I feel like, over the course of this week as well. Where is our ego getting in the way of us truly being able to receive and to create a life that allows us to attract what it is that we really want, what it is that really fills our cup? Like I said, it's like this week is sort of bringing in like all of the themes that we've been talking about throughout the course of this entire month. And with the next cards coming, the Seven of Swords, you guys, followed by the King of Swords. The Seven of Swords, this is about shady business. This is about deception. This is about someone stealing power. This is about lies. This is about cheating. This is about just not straightforward stuff going on. This is about someone trying to get something over on you, or some just type of shady business that's been going on in the past, but being clarified, you guys, by the King of Swords. This is no. This is us seeing the truth. This is us calling that out. This is that attempt falling flat on its face. This is no more lies, especially with the Queen of Swords right here being clarified by Temperance as well. You guys, we've got the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords both upright this week, and both straddling that spread in the middle of the King of Wands and Justice in reverse and the Eight of Cups. It's like, we're figuring stuff out. We're coming to this truth. We're coming to this clarity. We need to hold on to it, but we're not sure. We're not sure if we can trust ourselves, because our ego is still playing with us, or people are still manipulating us through our ego in some type of way. It's keeping us stuck. It's keeping us unsure. It's keeping us in the state of confusion. But there is this Eight of Wands, you guys. There's this information that is coming through. And, you know, we may be really questioning whether we should walk away, whether we should move on, whether we should go on this trajectory to rediscover the truth of our heart, whether we should sort of detach from these things from the past, really questioning it in this energy, maybe being very confused as we go throughout this period of time, especially with the Sun and the opposition to Neptune this week. But something hitting us fast. And what is hitting us fast is some like undeniable truth that is extremely powerful and has a lot to do with things that we haven't understood, anywhere that our mind has been fragmented out of a lack of understanding, anywhere we've been being like gaslighted about something, or just deceived or lied to or betrayed or manipulated. Like, that is what we are gaining this clarity on. And also, we're talking about, you guys, Mercury retrograde, opposition to Jupiter retrograde, with Mars and Venus in square in Mercury signs. That is what this is. This is the King of Swords coming through to clear up anywhere that we've been being played with, really, in any type of a way. And then to end the reading, you guys, what is the outcome? What is the final outcome? Holy moly. Seven of Cups, death. Okay? What is the Seven of Cups about? The Seven of Cups is an inability to choose. The Seven of Cups is being stagnant and like held in place as a result of just feeling overwhelmed by a lack of clarity. Like all of these choices in the clouds, like very clouded, like understanding of things, and not knowing what to do, not knowing what to choose, not knowing what choice to make, like can't differentiate necessarily between the good one and the bad one, the toxic one and the healing one, because maybe like of these mind games that perhaps have been going on as well. Seven of Swords can also represent mind games, and the King of Wands in reverse, Judgment in reverse. We could really be being manipulated or like almost like preyed upon based on somebody using our ego against us in this energy. This could also be some type of like dominant male or masculine figure trying to maybe like feed our, again, it's the ego manipulation that is conning us into making bad choices. Like it's literally King of Wands in reverse, like distorted ego, right? Judgment in reverse, bad judgment, leading to the Eight of Cups in reverse, not an inability to make the choice to walk away from what is no longer serving us. But then we've got the Eight of Wands coming in there. And again, the 8, this number of transformation, this number associated with Scorpio, which is associated with the Death card in tarot. And then we have the 7 of Cups and the Death card coming out together. And these two cards, when I was shuffling, fell out of the deck in a pile, like exactly as one. And so to me, this is talking about the end of an inability to see clearly, the end of delusion, the end of confusion, the end of an inability to make a choice or a decision or lack of understanding. And this transformational process that we were going into. And then this was being clarified by the 4 of Cups, which this in this deck says distraction. So it's like, this confusion, you guys, had been causing this massive distraction for us in some way in our lives. Something that we had just been like mulling over and like over analyzing, like not being able to choose, but also like really distracting us perhaps from the awakening that we're supposed to be going on right now, and these truths that we're supposed to be coming to, and reconnecting with the truth of our heart. It's like these exterior, external, like, choices or an inability to see clearly or something that's just been keeping us like off balance or unable to rest or unable to relax or unable to, again, like make that choice or know which direction to go in. Also distracting us from our job right now, which is really getting in alignment with ourselves and figuring out who we are, what we want, and what we want to create going forward. Coming to the end, Death, Pluto. We end this week, you guys. Well, it's actually on the 19th, which I believe is Monday. So this is carrying through this week into next week. But Monday, the 19th, is going to be the Sun in the trine to Pluto. Death, rebirth, transformation in terms of what lights us up, what brings us to life. This is also massively shining light on things as well that have been hidden under the surface of stuff, under the surface of our own psyche. This is bringing us back to life in some type of a way through clarity and removing the distractions as a result of that confusion perhaps that we may have been navigating in. And then in terms of the oracle cards that I drew to just clarify our week even more. The astrology card that we had coming out of the deck was Neptune, you guys. Neptune, the sun coming into an opposition with Neptune this week. Again, this is that distortion. This is that confusion. This is also that clarity. This is also that spiritual connection, right? But this is a need to really tune into our intuition, ask for spiritual guidance, be open to receive spiritual guidance, but also understand that there's a lot of illusion and a lot of distortion that is operating in the field this week. And it is very important that we are really going inward to discern, and to really like all these planets retrograde right now as well. This is a period of really getting in touch with our own personal truths. Also the 4 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, the Star, and Temperance. Like we are needing to go through an internalized awakening right now. That is what we are really prioritizing in this experience. And I feel like this is being represented by this Neptune energy that we have coming through in this card. In terms of our animal spirit this week, we got the snow leopard, you guys. This says take some time out to your, what does it say? Take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. And again, being in this Virgo cycle, this is represented in tarot by the Hermit energy. I feel like this is a necessary part of this process as well, like being more introspective, detaching ourselves perhaps from all of the ongoings and the vibrations and all of the, ideas and thoughts and just everything that is going on with Mars and Gemini right now and the stuff going on with other people. This may be a week where we really need to sort of like detach ourselves and do some internalized processing of the things that we're learning and the information that is coming to us throughout the course of this week. And then in terms of our crystal spirit message that we got for this week, it says well, we got Sugarlight. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. Sugarlight, which is actually like a very, very magical, powerful stone. And it says, feel in order to know. So again, like this is reminding me of the Neptune vibes. This definitely is talking about a need to trust our intuition, to trust our gut, to really discern, like I said, like discern from this place of like what feels right to us this week, like what feels like it's in alignment with us, what is not triggering like red flags going on within us and the energy this week. And there should definitely, you guys, be some type of clarity that is coming to us in one way or another that is changing things for us throughout the course of this week. And I guess this is what we need to know in order to get it started. Let's grab one more card. Let's grab a synchronicity card now for today. What do we need to know in the energy today that can help us through this day as we are preparing for this pretty significant energetic week that we have coming up? And there is our card flying out of the deck. It says, you can only change yourself, you guys. And that makes perfect sense as we are in this week of changing ourselves. That is what this is about. You can only change yourself. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father, which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Be an example for others. You cannot change others' behavior any other way except to show by good example what sort of things a good life can bring one. Forgive them for their failures. Forgive them for their words. Love them, and by your example, show them the way. This is the only way except to pray for them, to know, and to follow your example. So, you guys, that's what we have this week. We are leading by example, and it really is this internalized process of going through this awakening to the truth of ourselves and the changes that result because of that. So that is what is on the itinerary for us this week, and that is what we're navigating. I hope you guys liked the video today. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you just a little bit of whatever you might be needing as you are navigating. If you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would like this kind of content and be interested in this type of stuff too. Leave me a comment, you guys. I truly love your comments. I appreciate you guys so much. Really grateful for your feedback. Thank you so much for being here. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group where I said I will post the picture of the tarot spread, a website, and some other social medias. Those are in my description box below. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. I will be back, and we will be kicking off this 6-day period of some big time energies. So I'll be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it, and I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And until tomorrow, bye, everyone.